Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is my review and recap of the 2017 Academy Awards. So to be honest, I'm actually not quite sure how I'm doing this review right now because I am dead. D-E-A-D, complete wig snatch, just on the floor, done. After the ending of these Academy Awards. What? That was definitely the most shocking ending to an award show I've ever seen. But hey, Steve Harvey, at least you can sleep easy at night now, huh? But I still need time to recover. I need to gather myself, gather my thoughts before we get into that ending. Let's go ahead and take it from the top first, shall we? I do want to start this off by saying I think this was one of, if not the most, entertaining Oscar telecasts I've ever seen. From start to finish, I think this was a really fun, really exciting, great show. And that all starts with a surprisingly good hosting job from Jimmy Kimmel. I have to tell you, I'm not a fan of Jimmy Kimmel. I don't really think he's funny at all. And I wasn't looking forward to him hosting this year's Oscars. But lo and behold, he did a great job as the host. I think that his opening monologue was fantastic. I will say I was stunned, but laughing, when he took a jab at Mel Gibson being the only Braveheart in the room, but one that definitely won't be uniting us. I thought that was a great joke. I really thought all of them were great jokes about white men saving jazz while black women saved the space program. I thought that was great. I think he did a lot of wonderful things. I think the candy never got old with the cookies, the donuts, all the different types of candy. I think that bit was really cute and a fun twist each and every time. I think that his banter with Matt Damon was hilarious. I loved that ending bit. It drug on just a bit and was a little bit disrespectful to the category Matt Damon was up there to award. But let me just tell you, I fell out when they said Ben Affleck and guest. It was too much, but it was everything. But also kudos to Matt Damon for taking it all in stride, being game for everything that Jimmy Kimmel threw at him. And it was a lot. I thought he was awesome for all of that. I also think it would have been super awesome to be one of those people from the tour bus. I've already seen kind of like memes or weird things that people are making about those people though, and I'm like, come on. We all would be super excited if we got to meet Denzel Washington and Meryl Streep and Andrew Garfield right there in the front row. Are you kidding? But I think it was an awesome opportunity for them. I think it did toe the line a little bit of being a little bit like making fun of them, and I really hope the internet does not do that. I think this was meant to be fun and meant to be something that gave these everyday people what they came to LA for. So internet, be nice. These are everyday average people. Don't make them into memes. Be nice. That was an awesome opportunity for them. Also, I think that Jimmy Kimmel had a great joke about Hollywood being accepting of all these people from other countries, but not accepting about people of other like weight and age. However, this was the perfect opportunity to expose and dig at Hollywood about the fact that they are not accepting of women and people of color still. Don't let this 1 year of Moonlight and Hidden Figures and Fences having successes, Lion being in there, blind you. It's still primarily only black talent that's getting nominated. This was the first year ever that a black actor and a black actress won for supporting roles in the same year. So I wish Jimmy Kimmel had just, bucked up and really went after Hollywood and kind of exposed the hypocrisy that continues to go on there. A bunch of people kind of patting themselves on the back for being accepting and open while this industry continues to perpetuate sexism and racism. Okay, let's talk some red carpet fashions, shall we? I think Emma Stone looked stunning. I think that dress was gorgeous. It was gorgeous on her body. I think it fit the whole La La Land motif very, very well. And let me just say, her face was beat. Like, her face looked amazing. The hair, the makeup, all of this was 100% on point. I also think that Viola Davis looked stunning. I loved this kind of edgy sideswipe hair on her. This time she went for not such a big bright color like the yellows she's been doing recently, but this red looked fantastic. I loved the cut of the dress. It was sexy, it was cool, it was edgy for her, and I adored it. I thought she looked gorgeous. I loved Chrissy Teigen's dress. I thought she looked fantastic. It was a really unique dress. I loved the embellishments. I loved the kind of see-through areas. Thought it was great. Taraji P. Henson brought sexy to the red carpet in that black dress she had on with that beautiful, just beautiful necklace. Also, her mug was beat. I thought she looked fantastic as well. Definitely brought the sexiness to the Academy Awards. I also really liked Jessica Biel. I thought her dress was unique, but it still was very pretty. I enjoyed it, and I thought her and Justin Timberlake looked cute together on the red carpet, and I loved their interactions with each other. The photobombing and the dancing in his performance, it was great. As for the men, there were pretty much just solid categories that men fit into. One, traditional tux, which pretty much everybody pulled that off really well if they wore that. Two was the white suit. Either they went all white, or in most cases it was like a white jacket. Some had the black lapel, some had white lapel. I think Dev Patel pulled it off fantastically with the black pant, the all white coat with shirt, and then the black tie. Then we had several all blue suits, like legitimately blue coats with the blue pants, the whole 9 yards on like vibrant blue, not dark navy businessman blue. I think that Chris Evans pulled off the blue suit look the best. His suit was just fine-tuned to his body. It looked great. I loved the color scheme of the blues he played with, so he was my favorite there. And then we had satin coats all over the place. A lot of them were blue, a lot of them were dark reds, mostly blues though. It wasn't my favorite look, so I'm not going to put any of those on the best dress, but I don't actually think any of them look bad either, so they don't fall into worst dressed either. And then there was Mahershala Ali, who was in all black. He looked fantastic. I thought the suit was amazing. He pulled it off amazingly well. I love an all black if you pull it off right, and he did. So before we get into the worst dress list, I have to give an honorary award to Sunny Paiwar for being the most adorable person in attendance. I loved when Jimmy Kimmel just like lifted him up, and when he was talking with Jimmy Kimmel, he was so cute. And then just seeing him like adjusting his little bow tie and thumbsing up on the red carpet, it was adorable. Not going to critique his fashion. He's an 8-year-old, and he was having fun and making me smile, so what am I going to critique? As for the worst dress list, Taraji P. Henson made the best, but both of her Hidden Figures co-stars make my worst dressed list. Octavia Spencer just has been a miss all award season long with the pantsuits and everything else she's been wearing. It just doesn't work. And then she comes out with this ugly, really ugly, feathery boa type skirt. It just didn't work at all. And then I applaud Janelle Monáe for trying to go big, trying to go glamorous, get out there a little bit. But again, it just was so big. It was so costumey. It didn't feel grand. It felt like it was kind of wearing her instead of her wearing the dress. I don't know. It just didn't quite work for me. It was too much, too big, and I just didn't like it. Speaking of costumes, we move over to Leslie Mann, who looks like she was wearing the Dollar Tree version of Belle's dress from Beauty and the Beast. It looked so cheap. It looked so run down. Oof. Halle Berry's dress, I think, was okay. It wasn't great. It wouldn't have landed on the worst by itself, but I personally hated that hair. I don't really know what was going on. I love when actresses of color really embrace their natural hair and just kind of let it be big. But this, I don't know what this was, Halle. Like, come on. It literally just kind of had its own orbit going on up here. But more so than just being big, it was like unkept, unruly, and just ugly. And then we get to Dakota Johnson. Whew, I don't know what this was. It was like a silky sateen mess. It looks like it was kind of a nightgown gone completely wrong. Ugh, I don't know. You should have just came in some BDSM outfit or something, girl. Any type of leather whips and chains would have been better than this. Also, I saw Kelly Ripa running around. She looked a fool with these butterflies on her gown. It just, I don't know. I don't know what she was wearing. I don't know what she was doing there. But nice try, Kelly. Also, I wonder, did Michael Strahan interview Kelly Ripa on the red carpet? As As for the men, like I said, they all just kind of wore the same thing. All of them had a decent cut. I didn't see too many that were just like, oh, horrible. The one I did see was like this Hugh Hefner, just gross look that Terrence Howard was rocking. So pretty much everyone around Taraji P. Henson's circle looked horrible. She like sucked all of the style out of them, so she looked young and fierce, while they all looked terrible. Because I don't really know what the pattern was on this, why he was wearing this ugly coat. It didn't work. Now let's just talk about some of the noteworthy moments that took place throughout the show. First of all, I don't really know what was going on with Mel Gibson throughout the entire night. I think he was completely uncomfortable. He didn't feel in his element. Ugh. If I'm being honest, it appeared he was like coming down off of medication or something. I don't know. It was just a very, very, very strange night with Mel Gibson. When we were on the red carpet, the first thing I noticed was his like 26-year-old girlfriend that was pregnant with his 9th baby. He's 60 years old and got a 26-year-old pregnant. Who am I to judge? I just found it gross and creepy, and then add to that like that weird big Mel Gibson smile he was doing all night. Oh, no, I didn't enjoy it. And then he did that weird like fist pump thing. It just all did not work. I'll give you this, he did keep that big old smile on his face while he was being made fun of by Jimmy Kimmel at the beginning, but ugh. I absolutely loved when they brought Katherine Johnson, one of the actual women that were depicted in Hidden Figures. So we had Taraji P. Henson, Octavia Spencer, and Janelle Monáe coming up to present an award. And I just was so happy and so filled with positive emotion when they motioned for Katherine Johnson to come on out and enjoy this moment with them and give her that spotlight on the stage. I thought it was a beautiful gesture and one of the most heartfelt and lovely moments of the evening. Asghar Farhadi won for Best Documentary, and I loved that speech as well. I know some people just want politics completely out of award shows, when really all the award shows are political in their own way. But I think that the speech was done so tastefully well. He boycotted in solidarity with people from his own country. And I think the speech he gave about inclusivity and the people of his country and the other nations there was simply beautiful. Speaking of speeches, I do think we got a lot of wonderful, wonderful speeches this evening. My favorite came from Viola Davis. That was the most heartfelt, just pure speech I think I have ever seen. You can just tell Viola has worked so hard. She broke into the business so late in her life, and she's worked so hard to get to the status that she's at now. And to finally reach the apex of her career was just astonishing to watch. And you can tell, even though she's been the favorite, everyone expected for her to win, she didn't take it for granted. And her speech was, it was simply breathtaking. It almost brought me to tears. It was so good. Plus, she's just such a genuine person that it really sheds light on why she's such a fantastic actress and where she's able to pull these emotions from in her characters. And it's completely well-deserved. She's one of the best actresses, if not of all time, definitely of this generation. I also loved the speech that the writers from Moonlight gave when they won Best Adapted Screenplay. Much like Viola Davis, it was just a beautiful speech that came from the heart. These men were writing about their lives. Moonlight was a story about their life and their experience, and just speaking out for, as they said, all of the like brown and black kids of the world who are different, who are outcasts, and who don't fit into the gender binary system that has been put into place. This is for you. And I thought it was just a gorgeous speech. I also thought it was a wonderful speech for the Hacksaw Ridge sound mixer, who won for Best Sound Mixing. This was his 21st nomination, and he finally won his first award. And again, you could just see the excitement, just how ecstatic he was to be up there and finally winning this Oscar. It was such a happy, such a heartfelt, such a well-earned speech. I loved it. Some of the other big moments of the evening came from our performances of Best Original Song. First of all, Justin Timberlake opened the show, and this was one of the biggest productions and actual performances at the Oscars, I think, that has ever taken place. It was fantastic. He came in from outside. He went down into the audience. You would have thought you were watching the Grammys if you just kind of tuned in at that point in time. I will say, his live vocals, not so great, but the whole spectacle of it was fantastic. I think it really started the Oscars off on a light and happy and uplifting and unifying note. So I'm really happy they decided to open with Justin and let us all experience that first. Sting performed, but that performance was just kind of a non-factor to me. I don't know. It was lovely enough, but Then I'm going to go ahead and talk about John Legend performing the 2 nominated songs from La La Land and kind of intertwining them. Honestly, though, if you are unable to vocally perform your original song that's nominated at the award show, I honestly think it should be disqualified. I know that they tried to make up some excuse as to why Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling weren't going to be performing their respective songs, but honestly, I think it's just because if we're being real, they're not really that good of singers. And that's a big complaint, I think, overall with La La Land, is just that the dancing and the singing weren't quite up to par for what they were trying to do. And then it just seemed to be exemplified here when they just kind of announced John Legend singing the songs that they were nominated for. Also, John Legend, the performance was just okay to me. But the big moment of the night came with poor Ali'i Cravajo. First of all, this girl is gorgeous. She is just really, she looked breathtakingly beautiful. I thought with this song and the whole moment, honestly, it was just this big, grand, beautiful, wonderful moment for her to have her Oscars debut too. She sounded great. She looked great. I thought the whole stage looked great. I also love Lin-Manuel Miranda's opening. That new little prologue that he added to the front was great. It segued kind of weird, but it was a wonderful rap. I really enjoyed it. But of course, we have to mention the fact that poor Ali'i got hit in the head with one of the flags. Poor girl, you saw like her face as it happened was just like, oh no, did I just get hit with something? But she was such a pro. She didn't even skip a beat. She was on it into the belting moments of the chorus for How Far I'll Go. Right afterwards, she finished strong. I think everybody really cheered her on. But it was just a little unfortunate that one of those flags kind of got away and made contact with her head. When it comes to awards, I don't think there actually were all of that many surprises early on. I did pretty terrible in my personal predictions. Usually I'm closer to 20. This year I was like at 15. But some of those 15 I was very happy to be wrong about. I was happy Fantastic Beasts won for costume design. I was happy that Manchester by the Sea won for Best Original Screenplay. I was really happy that Hacksaw Ridge won for Best Film Editing. Huge shock, but a great shock. And of course, the big one, I was really happy that Moonlight won for Best Picture. And in the most crazy, ridiculous way humanly possible. So at first I was kind of just like, Warren Beatty, sit your old self down, please. But he legit was handed the envelope for Best Lead Actor. So we cannot fault Warren Beatty for this. Whoever handed him that envelope, shame on you. I felt so bad, actually, for the producers of La La Land and everybody who got up there. They were making their speech, and then they looked at the card and were like, oh, we for real, y'all. We didn't win this. Moonlight won. At that point, I, of course, was like, yeah. Also kind of like, oh, what? What's happening right now? I think the whole world was wondering what's happening right now. But Moonlight completely deserved it. It's such a forward-thinking, forward-pushing film. It was shot in such a beautiful way. I'm so happy that it won. But for sure, that was the craziest ending to an Oscars clearly I have ever seen. Really the craziest moment in an Oscars that I have ever seen. I still am stunned that it took place. But the whole night was just super fun. I thought it was a great time. I think it was a great show. There was a lot of politics in there, but I don't think they quite shoved it in people's faces. So if you are on the liberal side, you enjoyed the jabs that happened throughout. But I think if you're on the more conservative side, it wasn't in your face so that you were like, ugh, turned off and wanted to turn off the Oscars. Also, the only other thing I'm going to really comment on, I know I'll probably get a bunch of slack for, but thankfully we did end on that high note with Moonlight, because I was just kind of disgusted that Casey Affleck did end up winning. I know I predicted him. I knew he was going to win the award for Best Lead Actor, but people can argue with me until you're blue in the face, but no. I cannot and I will not celebrate him winning these awards, and especially not the top honor in his field. And the bad part is, Jimmy Kimmel even made a joke about the nepotism involved in Casey Affleck getting the role and not being blacklisted from Hollywood, like we saw with similar cases just earlier in the year. And you can say the performance needs to be separated from the personal life, but we already saw that's not how it's been operating in the past, for one. Secondly, these accusations supposedly happened on the job. Can you imagine any of us average people doing what Casey Affleck was accused of doing on the job? Not only would we never even be in consideration for awards, we'd be fired. We wouldn't even have a job. So that's my whole argument against it. If you want, you can check out a video I did completely about Casey Affleck. But again, I won't celebrate his victory. I don't think he deserved his victory. He shouldn't have even been nominated, in my opinion. And honestly, for me, it was just another show of the lack of respect that Hollywood has for women and for people of color, that they would go ahead and hand him this award. But if you want to talk more about that, we can down in the comments below. So, that has been my review of the 2017 Oscars. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click like down below, and subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date on our latest videos. Also, join in on the discussion. Did you watch the Oscars? What did you think of my analysis? Do you agree? Disagree? Let me know in the comment section down below. Also, what were the most memorable moments for you tonight? And what did you think of Jimmy Kimmel as host, of the musical performances, and the winners that ended up winning after envelope mix-ups and all? Let me know in the comment section down below, or as always, you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your support. Mwah! Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!